Hi there, friends. Welcome to this week's episode of the Expat Answer Man podcast. We've got a couple great questions today, and we're going to get into it and see what it's all about. First, we have a question asking about a marriage penalty in the Philippines where you get taxed all this big money because you got married to somebody in the Philippines. Well, you can't believe everything you're told. Just listen to what I have to say about it and see what I think. I think maybe at least a few people will be enlightened. A couple weeks ago we talked about international driver's licenses. And we got kind of a reverse question today about those. An American living here in the Philippines wants to get an international driver's license for when he goes home for vacation, back to the States. So what do you think about that? Is that going to be the same as last time when people wanted to get an international driver's license when they came here to the Philippines? Well, just keep listening. You're going to find out. That'll be our second question today. So anyway, welcome aboard. Great to see everybody here, and have fun listening to the Expat Answer Man podcast this week.
Someone told me to ask here. I'm legal Section 13 immigrant to Philippines many years now. My ACR card still says immigrant. Someone surprised now says there is a huge marriage penalty. My Filipino wife didn't tell, or in any way warn me. The church didn't tell me. The government didn't tell me. No one at City Hall told me. Suddenly, when being honest in casual conversation at a Bureau of Immigration, WHAMMM, 200 pesos per month plus 2,000 pesos per year going back almost 10 years. Surprise 10-year penalty for marrying mommy of our kids, large. Zero notice, just pay, Even though all reporting it by driver's license, all legal documents, and of course marriage registration at Philippines NSO. Clearly no evidence it, have copy of original and now plus legal NSO copy. Never secret or not legally registered. Any normal person would expect proper recording and no problem. Now, nasty surprise, I will be deported for legally marrying the mother of my children, all with proper procedure, documents and honest registration. What's wrong with this reality? Pay huge and be deported and blacklisted for properly marrying the mother of our kids years ago. What? To call this crazy would be, to tell me, who has also been hit with this big nasty surprise after many years huge per month plus per year marriage penalty in the Philippines.
Well, hello there, Bernard, and thank you for calling in with your question or your comment for the Expat Answer Man podcast today. Let's get into it and see what we can find out. Okay, so, Bernard, I've been living here for more than 17 years now, actually almost 18 years, coming up on 2 decades in the Philippines. In that time, I have never once heard of any kind of marriage penalty until I got your message. As far as I'm concerned, it just does not exist. I've never heard of it. Nobody's ever told me anything about it. Never read anything online about it. To be honest, I really think that you're being scammed here. I mean, I'm 99% certain, maybe even more than that this just does not exist. For anybody listening, you have to be careful about scammers in the Philippines. There are a lot of people here that want to get their hand in your pocket and get out whatever money they can get from you. Whether that means it's 50 pesos or 50,000. That's how, whatever you've got in there, that's what they want. Doesn't matter if it's only 50. It's 50 more than they have now. And, I think it's pretty obvious by what I write and the things I say that I really love living in the Philippines. I feel this is a great place to live. There's lots of opportunities for different kind of self-improvement and that kind of thing here. I'm not negative about the Philippines at all. So when I say that you have to watch out because there's a lot of scammers, I don't mean that as just complaining. It's just a fact of life here. There's a lot of people who don't have money. They can't feed their kids. They can't send their kids to school because they don't have the money. So, unfortunately, in that kind of situation, it's only natural that they're going to do what they have to do to get the money. And, one of the things they do is they scam people who are gullible. So you have to watch out for this. No matter if you're coming here to live, you're going to be just on vacation or whatever, don't be gullible. Pay attention to what's going on, and if you hear something that doesn't sound right, check into it. I don't care if you've gone into a government office where the people have good jobs that pay well. They will still try to scam you, many of them, and certainly not everybody. The vast majority of people here, whether they're poor, rich, or whatever, they don't try to scam you. They're good people. But in every society in the world, you've got a certain percentage of the people that are out to get you. And unfortunately, it's probably a larger percentage here because of the poverty. Bernard, if you go into the Bureau of Immigration, and whether you're inside at the counter or say you're outside sitting on a bench and there's some employee sitting out there having a cigarette break or something, and he tells you about this marriage penalty and you've got to pay all this tax every year or every month, that doesn't mean it's the truth. Even if he's got a good paying job and he's got a good secure job for the government, it doesn't mean he's not trying to get you. Be on the lookout, because there are always people here that want to get that money. If a person from the Bureau of Immigration tells you that, if it sounds at all uncertain, go to the Bureau of Immigration website and take a look. They'll have everything right on their website. You could go inside and ask to speak to the person in charge of the office. He will certainly answer, and he might agree. Maybe he's in on it. It's much less likely, but it's possible. If that doesn't help, you could go send an email or call the Manila office. That's the home office of the Bureau of Immigration. The number one thing you can do to protect yourself, though, Bernard, and anybody else who's interested, every time you pay at either a business or a government office, if you're talking about a significant amount of money, get an official receipt, or what they often call here an OR, official receipt. These official receipts are registered with the Bureau of Internal Revenue. That's the tax collecting agency. And they have to put every amount that you spent. If you spent $6,421, they can't put 6,400 on there or 6,420. They are required by law to list every amount that you paid. And if, let's say that you're paying $10,000 and they say, well, it's only going to be $4,000 on the receipt because this other $6,000 doesn't really belong on here. That is total BS. Don't accept that. Only accept an OR that shows the entire amount that you paid. If you get the 4,000 OR and you gave him 10, that means that guy can put 6 in his pocket and there's no record that 10,000 ever changed hands. So pay attention. Do what you need to be certain, whether it means calling the Manila office or whatever, and always get the official receipt. Those are the top things you can do to protect yourself in the Philippines against people who are trying to scam you. All right, Bernard, I hope that helps you out, and I wish you the best of luck. Don't get caught up in this kind of thing, because what you're talking about just doesn't exist. There's no penalty for marrying your wife, no penalty for marrying the mother of your kids. Good luck. Do you have a serious relationship in the Philippines or planning to get married in the Philippines? If so, you might want to check out and make sure your significant other is honest and forthright. This is especially true if you plan to marry. At Point Man PI, we can do a background check and monitor the activities of the person you want to be sure of. Come and visit us, pointmanpi.com.
Yeah, hello. My name is Jimmy. I live here in Baguio City. I'm a retired English teacher, and I currently have a Philippines driver's license, and I'm wondering if it's possible to get a international driver's license here in the Philippines. I've lived here 3 years now, and I have a permanent immigrant visa, resident visa. I plan on going back to the U.S. For a short vacation, maybe 2-week vacation in 2018, and I may have a need to rent a car. So I'm wondering if it's possible to get an international driver's license here in the Philippines.
Well, hi there, Jimmy. It's good to hear from you. I hope the weather is good and everything's going well up in Baguio. You're up in the north and I'm up in the south here, but we can communicate through the wonders of the internet, I guess. Okay, I don't know if you heard, I had a previous podcast just a couple weeks ago about international driver's license. And what I shared, my opinion is those things are really illegitimate, they're not needed. Unless somebody did point out in the comments, and this is true, that they may have a place in the mix if you're in a country that's a non-English speaking country and they will convert it to English, or vice versa if you're coming to such a country. But the Philippines has English on their licenses and everything, so it's just not needed. Those international driver's permits or IDP, International Driver's License, whatever the organization calls it, they're not issued by a government authority. And in my view, they just don't carry much weight around the world. So you know what? You can go to the United States and you can rent a car there and you can drive your car for up to 90 days with your Philippine driver's license. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a treaty between the Philippines and the United States. We have a treaty for reciprocity. We in the United States will honor the Philippine driver's license for 90 days. The Philippines will honor a United States license for 90 days. It's just that easy. You don't need to get any other kind of international license. You don't need to go there and get a U.S. license. Unless you're going to be, let's say you're going to be there 2 years. Well, then you're going to need to get a different license and not an international license. You'll need to get a United States license. But the first 90 days you're there, no problem. You can use your Philippine license. Jimmy, I hope this helps you out, and I hope you have a great trip to the United States. Have fun and good luck with that, my friend. All right, that'll do it for today's Expat Answer Man. And come back again next week, and we'll have another episode. Take care, my friends.